Welcome back into the video store. Lee, Doug, and Garrick are glad you may still be listening. Thanks for your patience as we get back in the swing of things on our podcast about the movies you've never heard of but must see. Let's start off with a couple of our sponsors. Golden Ticket Cinemas. Remember, $5.50 Tuesdays. Trust me, with inflation and gas the way it is, you should put the Golden Ticket on your priority list. Also, Table Rock Creative Group, the pinnacle of video marketing in the Carolinas, getting ready to change its name and merge with a film company called Lone Wolf Pictures, which is now another one of our sponsors. Have slated 4 films coming up in the next year, and we are excited for them as a film production company to be a part of our show. And also the Spot Toys. When it comes to collectibles, if you need it, they have it. Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Bridges, Doug Wall, and Garrick Lane, it is Tales from the Video Store. Alright. Welcome to Tales from the Video Store number 119, and we are back and rolling. We are getting into a cock block, and actually...
Cock block?
We are in a cock block. Of course, we have both been cock blocks.
Been involved in a few of those in my lifetime, I can't lie. On both sides of the equation, unfortunately.
Yes.
Have you ever been cock blocked by a cop?
Yes, once. Yes, in a car. Yes, I was about to seal the deal, and the cops pulled up. So that would be a cop block.
Cock block by cop.
Cock block by cops. It's a riddler, a tongue twister. Well, we had problems with our my Skype. Sounds like a STD. I had problems with my Skype, or I had problems with my iPad or whatever. But we're off and rolling. We're doing Dragged Across Concrete, which was the one that we teased that we would do.
I don't know, sometime in 2020.
Yes. Yeah, way back when. But before we get to that, we've got some news. First of all, has anybody seen the Bullet Train trailer?
Oh yeah.
So what? All right, look, I am one of Brad Pitt's biggest fans. I like all his movies, but is he too old for this kind of thing?
Absolutely not.
So.
No.
You don't think so? He just doesn't look as good as Tom Cruise.
If Liam Neeson can continue to fucking churn out these movies where he's the fucking action star, Brad Pitt's fine.
Yeah, but Liam's got an edge to it. Like Tom Cruise and Liam have an edge to him. Brad's kind of like the stoner, like, oh man, come on, man, you really want to fight in this train, man? Like, really, man?
He looks a little grizzled.
Yeah, he does.
But that's fine. It's acceptable.
Plus, like we're going to talk about next week, it's directed by a stunt guy, so it'll be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not be the greatest movie in the world, but it will look cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks a little campy, but I think, I don't know. I will see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It looks like Smoking Aces on a train, but that's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, and the other trailer, I saw another teaser trailer, was the, I saw the Wednesday, the Addams Family spinoff on Netflix and Tim Burton's filming, and then on top of that, same week, we get Rob Zombie's The Munsters. What do you guys think of all this?
I mean, it's weird that they're coming out pretty much at the same time. That's kind of weird.
It is kind of weird.
But, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. We've talked about this before. It'll be interesting to see Rob Zombie do something that's not rated R.
Yeah, it's getting a PG rating. It's in full color. It looks great. I'm not real sure about all the nepotism going on where he just keeps casting the same motherfuckers over and over.
We'd said this before, and I'd hoped for a G rating because I really wanted to see if he could really do it the right way. So
Right.
The PG tells me there's going to be some questionable moments in this, either from a creep factor or like I don't really know what to expect. But I'm not the biggest Rob Zombie fan, but I am somewhat hopeful that this won't be an absolute fucking train wreck.
Yeah. I mean, well, I'm kind of keeping an open mind about it.
That's me. Like, I hope he can pull this off, because if he can, I think that would open him up to a greater discussion about his filmmaking skills.
I was just saying, wouldn't it be weird if he just became a giant director of kids' movies?
It wouldn't be too
That
weird.
would just be another genre he was like, he couldn't get out of horror movies, but then he ends up getting cast as like a kids movie director. You know.
I know you guys don't care about the Rotten Tomatoes, but I'm going to say early on that this will get a 31% Rotten Tomatoes. I think he'll get really badly critiqued. I think I'll enjoy the movie. It's got all the people in it. It's got the wolf, the uncle. It's got everybody in it. I mean,
Right.
It should be pretty fun. I don't know anything about the Wednesday, the Addams Family thing.
I don't know either.
I think she's solving mysteries or something.
She's
Like
the new
adult
Scooby-Doo.
Wednesday Addams.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
great.
that's-
So, but Gomez and all those guys are not in this, right?
I think they are. I think they are, but I think it's mainly her. I think they'll be in it a little.
Okay. So let's go back then. We both grew up on both of these. Which one's better, the Munsters or the Addams Family? Which
I'd
one?
say the Addams Family.
I enjoyed the Munsters.
I did too.
Yeah.
I was a Munsters guy.
That's just, I watched more of that than I did the Addams Family.
I was so annoyed every time Gomez kissed up what's her name's arm. I'm like, dude, God, this is stupid.
I mean, I guess
I don't know.
it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
And I liked Fred Gwynn and that whole, like, and Grandpa and all those guys. I just, that was just kind of what I enjoyed when I was a kid. I don't really remember watching a whole lot of the Addams Family TV show. I mean, I know I caught some of it, but I didn't watch a lot of it.
Basically, in the 80s, if you didn't have cable, you just watched whatever was on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would
Even
come
if
on.
He did reruns of I Love Lucy. There were only 3 channels, so you just sat there and watched it.
Yeah.
Well, it would come on before the Addams Family or the Munsters would come on before He-Man. Like, it was like the 3 o'clock block was the black and white Andy Griffith Munsters, and then 4 would kick into the He-Man or G.I. Joe or fucking Cross Superstars and all that shit. That stuff I loved when I was a kid. So yeah, you always had to watch. If you cut on the TV early, you were going to watch the Munsters. You were going to watch that stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, you were going to watch whatever was on. I'm a Munsters fan. I'll tell you what, we'll put that poll up on the Facebook group. Let's see what all our listeners like better, the Addams Family or the Munsters. Who knows? I've been watching some stinkers. I guess I can get into that during our watch, but what we watched for the week. I was actually going to get into it now, but that's kind of pointless because then I won't have anything to talk about later. Philip Baker Hall passed away. I'm going to be honest, man. Like, I thought he had already passed away. He smoked like 6 packs of cigarettes, and he
True
was
fucking story. I'm sitting there fucking watching Bad Words. I hadn't seen it in a few years with Jason Bateman, and I saw Philip Baker Hall's character, and I paused the movie and went to Wikipedia to see if he was still alive because I honestly couldn't remember.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, okay, cool, man. He's still alive. The next fucking morning, he turns up dead. So that was a little bit creepy. A little bit creepy, but I've always been a big fan. He was in Paul Thomas Anderson's first 3 fucking movies. He was amazing in really all of it, but I really liked him in the role in Magnolia where he's the fucking
the father who molests his kids.
The guy who's like the TV show fucking icon.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good in that. He was great in the little bit part in Boogie Nights. He was great in The Hard Eight.
Yeah.
You know, and back then,
Oh, yeah.
hell, he looked like he was fucking 80 back then, so that was 25 years ago. So God bless him. He lived to be 90. You know.
Yeah, if he had smoked that much and probably drank as much as I assume he did and lived to 90, you did great.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right on that.
Yeah,
for
he
sure.
he was a really, really good actor, man. Really good.
Yeah. He'll be missed. Like Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
What was your favorite? What was your favorite film of his?
Of whose?
Philip Baker Hall's.
Well, I can't really speak on a lot of his earlier work. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude, he had bit roles
Yes.
in like so many freaking movies. But my first real introduction to him, where he was the main character, and I was really fully invested in the movie and kind of what was going on, was definitely The Heartache. Now,
Oh, yeah.
You know, I didn't know really who he was, and John C. Reilly, I didn't know who he was. You know, the only person I knew from that movie, I knew who Samuel L. Jackson was, and I knew who Gwyneth Paltrow was. And I didn't recognize anybody else. But what I took away from that movie was Philip Baker Hall and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
You know, Hoffman just having that tiny little bit, but man, it always stuck with me. I was like, God damn, man. You know, and then you see him later in Boogie Nights, the next movie that Anderson made. And yeah, I've always liked the guy. He's a good actor, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree. I'd say it's Heartache. Also, the movie that inspired him put in Heartache, Midnight Run, where he plays another character named Sidney.
There you go.
Just him and Dennis Farina in that movie are just fucking hilarious.
Oh, right. I
Like,
forgot.
he's constantly trying to get Dennis Farina to calm down, who's the mob boss. He's like, Sidney, if you don't shut up, I'm going to stab you in the heart with a pencil. And just like Philip Baker Hall, he's just like, fuck. At the end, he's just like, fuck it, just go get arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's a great actor.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Okay, well, I have, movie fans, I have the latest version of our TikTok killer script here.
Oh, wow.
I'm kind of excited, but I wanted to make one announcement. We're going to do one more rewrite. And I think I told you this. I went to get, there's a scene at the end of the movie where he's chopping the guy up and he's singing the TikTok.
You say so.
You helped me write this thing.
I wouldn't go so far
Spoiler
as to say that. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, we're going to change that because when I went up to this to Shiner's Jerky to see if we could use their building. He wants to use the outside of the building. He's got a great barn and all this, so we're going to rewrite the last couple of scenes to end up there instead of the house to utilize that location. So that's coming. I'm excited. I've been a lot of people. We're going down to Morris Costumes. We're going to find Mr. Ticklebottom's costumes and his makeup. It's going to be great. I'm excited. Stay tuned here.
Awesome.
Stay tuned here for all the TikTok killer information. We are going to make this movie.
I'll try and keep Garrett from ruining it, okay? I'll do my fucking best, all right? But I can't make any promises.
Doug, when he whipped out the script, I honestly thought he was going to sit there and read the whole thing.
I kind of had the same feeling. I was like, where are we going with this, Garrett?
We did.
Easy.
Fade in. I was like, hold up.
Well,
Easy.
we've only got an hour. Well, I mean, it's only 10 minutes. Like, we could probably do that. All right, here we go. You ready? No, just kidding.
Pump the brakes, Lane.
Pump the brakes. Anyway, that's gonna be great, man. I'm excited. It's we haven't made a movie in a long time, and this one's been very slow. I feel it's crazy, man. The reason I brought this up is there's a lot of dudes out there making movies off these Indiegogo campaigns. It's crazy. People are raising $5,000 to $15,000 to make their movie on Indiegogo. Yeah.
What the fuck is an Indiegogo?
Right, exactly. I guess we missed that boat.
Is that some sort of electronic pogo stick?
Yes. Kickstarter. Basically, people put up some video and they say, hey, we're making this movie about this guy named Lee Fuckoff Bridges. And he,
He's a gardener and he likes to sit around.
He kills his girlfriend with popsicle sticks.
Okay.
Painted.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. I just kidding. While you're texting her right now, she wanted the podcast back and you're not even paying attention. You're on the phone with her. What's the deal?
I don't know, be more interesting.
Okay, fair enough. All right, then moving on. Jesus Christ, just forget it then. All right, well, let's get into it. Dragged across concrete. Do you want to announce this, Lee, or do you want to finish your...
I think Doug picked this out. He should do it.
This is the third installment of the S. Craig Zahler, I guess, filmography. He's made three that, you know, they're to use one word to describe them all, I would say gritty. Maybe doesn't even do them justice. We've covered Bone Tomahawk. Brawl in Cell Block 99 was like one of
the first ones we did.
One of the very first ones that I think I was a part of with this whole thing. And you know, I was really looking forward to Dragged Across Concrete with Mel Gibson, Vince Vaughn, you know, a cast of other characters that you may or may not know, but some smaller name people, but still, basically it's about a couple of cops, middle-aged, grizzled cops. They kind of do this drug bust at this guy's apartment, and while they're somewhat kind of roughing them up a little bit, a dude is across the way filming it, and so they get fired or put on leave.
Put on leave.
And when this happens, they immediately turn into criminals. And they're trying to justify everything that they're doing, but the reality is they just become what they've always tried to stop. You know, they're trying to shake down these thieves. They follow these guys around who end up robbing some gold bullion out of this bank.
They are ruthless dudes too.
Yeah, and you know, it's okay. I mean, it's one of those, and we have this a lot of times. You have the right director, you have the right story, you have the right actors, but for some reason it just doesn't fucking work. And for me, this one just doesn't quite pop like his previous movies. I don't know if it's because it's a little bit longer, because it's almost 2.5 hours long, where it probably needed to be about an hour and 45 minutes long.
Maybe.
But the Gibson and Vince Vaughn are fucking great. Both of them are fantastic in their roles. It looks amazing. But for me, it just didn't quite live up to my expectations. Lee, what'd you think about it?
I agree with everything you're saying. I feel we were talking about the lake. I feel it either should have been 90 minutes or like 5 hours long. Either like turn it into a quick genre movie or like a mini series.
Yeah.
Because there's so much you could go into.
Yeah.
Like the whole opening with Jennifer Carpenter as the bank teller during the robbery.
Yeah.
That's the heart rate, and that could have been in it. Like you could have stretched that out to an entire episode. You know, almost like a True Detective type show.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like
or it could have been, like you said, it could have been like less than 100 minutes long. One of the other, it's like sort of stuck in this middle ground where it's the really exciting parts get bogged down by a lot of filler, and it just doesn't like his first two movies just have this like unrelenting pace to them. Like even Bone Tomahawk, which is a longer movie, it never feels like it lags.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but the cast is great. Like I said, Vince Vaughn, Mel Gibson, Michael Jai White, who's a big martial arts sort of direct-to-video star. He has a great part in it. The German actor who plays the lead thief, I've seen him in tons of stuff. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Like it has an amazing cast, and but it just doesn't have a flow to it. You know, and I feel like had it either been longer as a TV show or shorter, it would have been much more successful. It's just sort of, it just sort of meanders. Yeah. And I think because Craig Zahler was a novelist before he was a movie director, he sort of got, he's one of kind of like the Tarantino movie Death Proof. There's moments in it where I feel he's he's loving writing this dialogue.
But we're not loving taking it, right?
But yeah, even if it at the detriment of the movie itself.
Yeah.
What do you think, Eric?
I feel the same way. I feel like it was uneven. I I did enjoy it. You know me, I don't mind the longer. I don't mind the longer movies, even if they're a little bit long. This one, I agree. Could have probably been an hour and 45 minutes. The dialogue's great, though. The story's great. Yeah, Jennifer Carpenter's character, like the way they set that up, it's just like boom, hits you right in the face.
Oh yeah.
You know,
like you think she's gonna be a main character.
Yes, and even the girl, like the way he did, and this is a spoiler, but when the naked woman gets out of the van at the end, you're very suspect in how they build it. Is very good about the voicemails coming in, and then what happens is crazy. And it's just like it's Zahler. Like that's what it's very mundane and it's very dark, but he still finds a way to be. He still finds a way to you're like, oh shit, you know, like I know it's like very deadpan and quiet, and then you're like, oh shit. There's like 3 or 4 of those in this movie where you're like, oh my god, what just happened? Like, oh my god, that just happened.
And he does that. I mean,
he does it well.
He's done it in his other movies.
I don't believe that it would be a miniseries. I feel like it would be too much like Too Old to Die Young. You know, one of my favorite miniseries.
That nobody I think but me and you watched and enjoyed it because it's so fucking long and so crazy.
Yeah, but that's how that's what this would be. This would be the same thing.
Yeah.
It'll be the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you would spend a whole hour with Jennifer Carpenter's character just to have her in episode 4 and get her hand blown off.
You know, when I was looking at this movie, I wanted to see, because I think it did like a simultaneous, like it went to streaming or went to video, and then also had a limited theater release. This movie had a $15 million budget. It looks fucking great. You've got some A-list actors in it. The fucking thing barely drew 660,000 at the box office. And that honestly kind of surprised me a little bit, because I think that there's definitely a large contingent of fucking film buffs like the 3 of us that really enjoyed Bone Tomahawk and Brawl in Cell Block 99, and I just thought it was a little odd that that number was so fucking low. And this was, 2018, and I haven't heard anything from Zahler since. I don't know what he's doing, but...
Craig Zahler is a lot like Nicholas.
Wending Refn?
Yeah. You have people that like his movies, and then you either love his movies and watch every one, or you don't know who the fuck he is. Period. And that comes down to it. He's one of those few directors that we 100% appreciate, you know, but my wife she wouldn't even, you know, half the population of where we live would have no idea that this movie even exists.
Yeah, I guess so.
And it's kind of one of those things. It's like edgy John Waters without all the bullshit, you know. It's like it's just Craig Zahler makes movies for himself, and he makes it for people like us that appreciate it. He doesn't.
I mean, I guess, but you know, you get these kind of like pretty big name actors and actresses involved in your works. You know, it's like, I think more the detriment is, and I've read before that a lot of critics are hard on the brutality of, you know, especially Bone Tomahawk. Like, that's not a Western for people who love Westerns.
Oh, dude, when I saw that in the theater in Charlotte, that's the only movie I've ever watched where there were walkouts.
Wow.
So
like
when they,
there was just people just getting up, just being like, nope, and just walking out of the movie theater.
So when they cut that dude in half, everybody was getting up.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
They were like, I thought this was gonna be like Tombstone. No, thank you.
Yeah.
And but you know what you got to do. I mean, that's why Google exists.
Right. I looked to see kind of what he was up to, and I read something about a Western, something about a couple of, like maybe a horror genre kind of a thing, and and then kind of something that sounded more like a children's kind of something, but off, like about a kid with a bunch of like health issues and stuff. So I don't really know, but I do know that whatever he makes, I will definitely check out because I appreciate his storytelling.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, I think he's a very good director. Whether you like the content, I think his skill is evident. Like, even in this one where it's not, like we talked about, the pace isn't great, but dude, it looks fucking great. Like you said, the dialogue's great. Like, there's a lot to love about this movie, even if you don't love the movie.
Oh yeah, once you get to the truck sequence where it's like a standoff, you know, you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
You know, once you get to that third act, it is like, but it just, I was gonna say, he's such an interesting guy because like he has this relationship with the R&B band, the OJs from the '70s, which all the songs you hear in Brawl and in this are all performed by the OJs, but he writes all the lyrics.
It's very
so
weird.
He somehow just got this soul band from the '70s, and that's, you know, they just perform these songs for him. You know, which is it's just very interesting. You know,
it's odd.
I can't think of anybody else where anybody's ever done that, where they just went and got a band to like, here, perform these songs I wrote for this movie. Because he was a musician before he was a novelist, before he was a filmmaker.
God, he's been busy, huh?
He's got his fingers in a lot of pies,
widespread. We just go to widespread panic and be like, here, I've written the songs. I just need you to perform them.
Yeah, I mean, it's. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he may not be.
The soundtrack is fantastic.
He may not be widely beloved now, but I think give him a little bit more time, and I think he'll maybe see his name kind of pop back up. Maybe.
Yeah,
I hope so.
There's a quote from John Huston that says that old buildings, prostitutes, and movie directors become respectable when they get older.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah.
So, what? I think Brawl is still my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
It's...
Brawl and Subblock 99 is special.
It is.
Yeah, it's... When I saw that movie, because it's not even that I like the movie. It's one of those movies I watched and I wish I'd made it.
Yeah.
It's not just that I liked it. I wish I had... I was like, damn, I wish I'd made that.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a lot of movies I like that I would not, even if I was a movie director, I wouldn't want to direct that type of movie, even if I like Gladiator, like just no interest.
Yeah.
You know, but like Brawl and Subblock 99, that's like if I had the money, like if Great Uncle Warbucks showed up with a check for $15 million, that's what I would make.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, I agree.
How many boxes of popcorn, or what the fuck ever our measurement is?
Or video rentals, I would give it a 3.
Garrett just admitted last episode.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3. I'll give it 3 rentals.
Out of how many?
A 3 night out of 5. 5 nights. How many? All right. So basically, you rent a movie.
You don't need to explain it to me, you fucking twat. Look, it's okay if you are a fan of his other works. Give it a day in court. If you've never heard of Craig Zahler or these other movies of his, go back and watch these other 2 movies first, and then you can finish up with Drive Across Concrete if you are so inclined. But it's not something that I would necessarily say to just a random movie fan, hey, I think you need to check this out. You're going to love it, because more times, I think more than not, you're going to find people who don't like this.
Oh, yeah.
Or don't love it like I do.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And if it was made by somebody else, I might not have even been so invested in it to have even, you know.
I remember before it came out, you guys were real excited about it.
Oh, the fucking trailer looked great, man. I'm thinking, you got Mel Gibson and fucking Vince Vaughn, like Dirty Cops. This is Dragged Across Concrete. It's the best fucking name. I mean, that's one of the best movie names I've ever heard.
Yeah.
The reality of it, it's okay.
Dragged across Kleenex.
Yeah, I never saw it, you know. It didn't quite meet the name.
Dragged across rubber mats.
Yeah, it didn't quite meet the name, but it still has some very good moments.
It did.
So I don't want to pan it completely. It's still I thought a pretty cool movie.
Speaking of True Detective, did you guys hear Jodie Foster's the main True Detective? The next season's been announced, and Jodie Foster's going to be the main detective.
Well, hello, Clarice.
Hello, Clarice. Have your lambs been silenced?
I'll be honest with you. I kind of.
You don't give a shit.
I wish that they would just stop.
Yeah. They'll never.
You can't fucking top what you did.
It's like the first cigarette you smoke. It's the best cigarette
Like
you'll ever
this
have.
was just the first season of True Detective is iconic.
It's perfect.
It's absolute. It might be my favorite TV show thing that I've ever seen. That's how good it is. But I give them credit for trying to go back to the well a couple of times. You tried and it just didn't work. Move along. You want to put Jodie Foster in something? That sounds great. It doesn't have to be True Detective. It could just be, something different.
I concur.
Yeah.
Silence of the Clams.
Ooh, clams? Jeez. If you say so, guy.
How about How about Contact? Is that good? All right, what do we watch, dear Lord? Actually, let me start. I watched a bunch of the stinkers, tons of stinkers. So many stinkers TV shows this week that I'm not even going to finish them. First, I'll just hit two of them at the same time.
Okay.
I didn't get past the 5 minutes of the second episode of Obi-Wan. Can anybody concur?
I haven't watched any of it.
I have seen some of it. I don't understand why.
It's horrible.
Jon
Favreau needs to take it over because they've totally shit the bed on it.
Just
let it
I
lie.
get you want to get this. People want to see him in this role again, but goddamn, man, come up with something better than I don't know. What I saw of it, I didn't think it looked terribly impressive, and I had a buddy of mine who was like, who was watching the show, and he said, so they set up this scene where Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi are standing across from each other in this field with their swords, their lightsabers drawn. And he's like, man, it looked great. And I was like, the most pointless thing ever, because nothing is going to happen to either one of them. What are we even fucking doing? It's like setting up a scene that nothing can come of it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
know where this is.
How I feel about this whole Star Wars retread shit. I'm fucking over it. If you can't take it in a different, that's why I'm excited about Waititi and what he's gonna do, because he's like, I'm not fucking talking about any of these old characters. I'm doing my own shit.
What's he doing?
He's doing some Star Wars stuff.
No, but he's just doing Star Wars.
I don't know what it's gonna be.
It's gonna be.
It will not have any pre-existing characters in it.
Yeah, it's his own shit, and that excites me.
Yeah. Also, let's give it up to him. The new Thor movie, 1 hour and 59 minutes.
Shortest one I think that's ever been made, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He directed it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, what else you got?
Man, I so really wanted to like The Offer, and I so don't.
What?
The Offer.
Oh, The Offer. Okay. Sorry, I misunderstood.
On Paramount, it's the story about how The Godfather got made, and it feels a lot like Dank, only it doesn't have the Mason scene, like it doesn't have the beautiful aesthetics.
What the fuck is dank?
What I
Mank.
You mean mank?
Yeah. Yes, Mank.
Have you got dank on the brain?
I have Dank on the brain.
Thinking about
Mank
mank.
is what you have to enjoy Mank.
Right.
Yes.
It can't make it any worse. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, it feels like that. So, like, Mank is all, every shot is beautiful. It's nicely staged. The Offer is the same story, only it's The Godfather, and it looks like Dallas. It looks like Yellowstone. It looks like every other TV show.
Yeah.
But that sounds like something that you would be praising, and the fact that you're not
I'm not a
setting
fan.
off the alarm bells a little bit.
I'm not a fan.
I might need to check it out. If you hate it,
that's
I might fucking love it. No, probably not. I don't care.
Yeah, I took all the Miles Teller I could accept in Top Gun 2.
Yeah.
As far as watching him for hours on end in a TV show, that's not going to happen. That's,
Yeah, I'm not impressed, man. I mean, it's not even, it's just watching this stuff unfold. There's no ups and downs. It's almost like a documentary without, it almost feels like a documentary while I'm just watching these guys. Not a big fan of it.
Okay.
I did, but so I also watched, and I know somebody's seen this Sadness, the new zombie movie.
Oh, yeah, the Taiwanese movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I did not see it.
It may be the best zombie movie I've ever seen, and that's no shit. It's that good. It's so like...
Where is this?
It's on Shudder. It's very good. It's very well done. It's very sad and depressing and disgusting, and there's a fucking zombie orgy.
But there are zombies?
I think it's just the sadness. I don't think it's the zombies.
I'm sad that they're still making fucking zombie movies.
But it's not really it's
that gives me the sadness.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It's really good though. You should check it out. I give it a 4. I give it 4. 4-night rental. You can watch it at least 3 times in just 4 nights.
Okay. All right.
And then so I also watched because they are one of my clients. It's pretty cool. On Shudder, they have the show Cursed Films, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, they did Wizard of Oz as the first episode of the new season. And they used all my guys, all my people, my clients at Land of Oz at the beach to do some stuff, to talk about Wizard of Oz and the curse.
Oh, really? Okay, that's cool.
That's kind of cool. I knew a bunch of people in it. So I watched it, of course, to see that. It was pretty interesting. They talked about the hanging munchkin that really was not. It was just a bird. And talked about Buddy Ebsen's, his allergic reaction to the metal, to the silver metal. Just talked about all the things that came in the way of the production of The Wizard of Oz. And it was pretty cool because it was also a lot of people I know and one of my clients that I work with.
That's very cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty good show. I like that show. I know you've watched it, Lee.
I watched the first season.
I watched a few episodes of the first season, yeah.
The Crow was good. So, of course, after I watched that, I started watching them. I mean, they're 20 minutes. They're thrown together with freaking news clippings and, they're shouldered by 2 interviews, maybe 3, but they're pretty good for what they are. But anyway, I would suggest the Wizard of Oz Shudder one for sure. And that's it. That's what I watched.
Okay, that's an interesting list.
Well, I mean, I would say that I wouldn't have even had that much if I would have liked The Offer or I would have liked Obi-Wan. I would have watched the whole thing, and that would have been my time this week. But
right?
Yeah, no, it's not happening. Anyway.
Okay. I watched a couple things, and a couple of them, 2 of them actually, the first one I'm going to talk about, I watched back in December. And I don't really recall 100% about either of these movies. The first is Lansky. Have you seen this, Lee?
I haven't seen it.
With Harvey Keitel and Sam Worthington.
Yeah.
About Meyer Lansky. This movie takes place in 1981. He was one of the original gangsters from way back, and basically the FBI kind of gets this kind of down on his luck writer to tell him this whole story because he's supposed to have had tens of millions of dollars that have never been recovered, and he just kind of tells this life story to this writer. They kind of develop a relationship, and it's pretty straightforward. It's kind of interesting. The dude was around for fucking ever. He was like 50s, 60s, 70s. He was an A-list gangster, and he was the money guy. And I don't know how many more roles Keitel will have, and he was very good in this one. So that was nice to see. So if you haven't seen it, and you like gangsters, it's a true-ish, I would say, story that is quite interesting. second thing I watched was this is one that I was really excited about back in December, but unfortunately, I don't fucking remember a whole lot about it. It's called The Ringmaster. I think it's from Denmark. It came out in 2018, and it's about a couple of. Takes place at like a gas station. There's an owner's daughter that's working there and an employee that hates her job. It's a subtitle movie, a Danish subtitle movie. And basically this guy comes in and kind of ensnares them and takes them to this place, and then it becomes like dark web, internet, torture porn. I had this written down, and I swear I wish I could remember what exactly this meant, but I have name tag nipple. I don't know what that means. I wish I had written down exactly what that meant.
They were a band back in the 90s.
It just says name tag nipple and then in quotes, and then after it I just have God damn it.
Name tag nipple. What exactly is name? Well, I'm gonna have to go watch The Ringmaster to figure out what name tag nipple is.
My note. This has an audience, gory and creepy, but also kind of campy. I think I liked it, sort of. So
name tag nipple. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, The Ringmaster. And then when I thought I wanted to watch something uplifting. And I picked the wrong fucking thing because I'm pretty sure I lost my sense of humor.
Cannibal Holocaust?
By watching this documentary. I had documentary on Anthony Bourdain called Roadrunner. It just came out, just premiered on HBO or HBO Max. I think maybe last week. And I sat night before last and I watched it. And it's just... It sucks, man, when you see a guy that everybody, like, tens of millions of people around the world think that he had just like the greatest job and the greatest life. And I'm here to tell you, I think he fucking hated every minute of it. And, as a chef, he was a guy when his book Kitchen Confidential came out, it was like everybody had to fucking read it. And he just kind of went from being just this kind of, not really very noteworthy fucking chef in New York at this small little French restaurant to suddenly he was like on the fucking talk show circuit, and, people were wanting to interview him, and then, started doing this TV show, and really, ultimately I think that he just had a rough time being himself, and having people like want him or want a part of him, and over the course of 20 years after, he basically retired from the kitchen when he was like 40, 42, 43 years old. Spent the next 20 years basically 250 days a year on the road filming his shows and doing all this shit, and it was sad, man, and towards the end of his life, he got up with Asia Argento, and they kind of were a little bit of a couple, and he was on stage with her at the Cannes Film Festival when she called out Harvey Weinstein for fucking raping her there 10 years ago. And from that moment till he ended his own life, he really seemed like a much different human being than, I guess, what people had gotten to know. And through interviews and all this, it was really in depth and really heartbreaking in some moments. Some of it very uplifting. The very, very end of it was the best part of the fucking movie. But if you were ever a Bourdain fan for one thing that he did or another, I highly suggest you give this a watch. It's a very, very personal journey with this guy who just I just don't think he was ever happy or ever comfortable, a day in his life, and that sucks. But anyway, that's what I watched. Lee?
Well, I only really have one thing to talk about, which is a movie I watched last night, which is a movie I've been looking forward to for months, which is a British revenge movie called Bull, which stars Neil Maskell, the star of the first movie we ever covered, Kill List. And it's not a similar movie, but he plays a similar character. He plays this sort of low-level British gangster named Bull, who it's hard to explain the movie without giving away the end.
Don't do it.
I'm not, but 10 years ago, he was basically kidnapped. He was not even like Bricktop in Snatch, like a guy who would work for Bricktop. That's who Bull's boss was. You know, he was married to that guy's daughter, and the guy's daughter wanted to leave him. So instead of getting a divorce, they just got rid of him. And they all think he's dead. And 10 years later, he shows up. And this, I will give the movie credit. It does not fuck around.
That's what you said.
Within 5 minutes, a woman walks into her house, and he's got a guy duct taped to a recliner, like mummified in duct tape. And he answers, says, "Where's my son? Where's Aiden?" And she says, "I don't know." And he doesn't say anything. He just walks up, stabs the guy in the heart with a butcher knife, takes it out, and sticks it through his neck. And he's like, "Where is my son?" And it's like there's no, like how, you know, like in Payback, how cool Mel Gibson is.
Yes.
Bull is not cool at all. Bull is just, he's like a big pile of insanity shaped as a human being. You know, and the ending, I don't know. I'd have to really rewatch the movie. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
Where did you find this?
I rented it on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was, you know, I mean, I don't know. Like, 75% of the movie I loved. The end, I don't know. I had to think about it. And, like, I don't want to talk about it because, like, nobody else has seen it yet, you know, that I know. I'm sure many other people have seen it. I'm not just, like, the only one. Yeah. But, I mean, Neil Maskell, just like in Kill Us, he's fucking great.
Yeah.
Like, he should be in bigger movies. You know, and he's just fucking terrifying in this movie. But other than that, I just rewatched a bunch of old stuff, like rewatched Slapshot. It's still hilarious.
Slapshot? Why?
Huh?
I mean, I guess it is fun. Okay, you're right. I was
flipping through streaming networks, and it was on.
And,
it was 10 o'clock at night, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm watching I'm tired of looking. I'm watching Slapshot."
Yeah, that happened to me like a couple weeks ago. I was sitting around flipping, and I was like, it's like 11 o'clock on a Saturday night, and me and my wife were sitting there, and I'm like, "You ever seen Red Sonja?" "No." "We're watching it." So we watched it, and of course I loved it, because I always loved it.
Tanya Roberts gets naked in that, doesn't she?
She is not in that.
Who's in that?
That is Brigitte
Oh,
Nielsen.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Back before she, turned into whatever the fuck she is today.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wait, which one was Tanya Roberts in? Beastmaster?
Beastmaster, yes.
Okay. I'll tell you, man, I'm getting old.
Well, all those movies, I mean, those 80s fantasy movies, the best thing about them is that they're all great. Even the shitty ones, like Krull, are fucking awesome when you go back and watch them today. So,
Yeah, it's like dialing into your childhood.
Yeah, just for a minute.
It's like, is the Masters of the Universe movie that good? No, but if it's on, I'll fucking watch it.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what, yeah, exactly. But other than that, I just rewatched it. That's the only thing of note I watched.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to have the podcast back. That's for sure. I think after we finish our cop block, we're going to have a guest star. Bobby Knight Jr. did a movie with him called Intinction. He's been working with Donald Farmer. They've been doing a bunch of horror films. We're going to have him on the show. Do one of those shows like we did with Clint.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah.
I don't know, anybody interested in the Black Phone?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Check it out.
Yeah.
My makeup artist on special effects artist on Intinction, and it's going to be on the TikTok killer. Her name's Megan Grant. She got me 2 free tickets to through her company Get Dead Crew. We're gonna go Tuesday early. So next week, Next week I'll be able to give you the shizzies on the black phone.
Very nice.
It should be pretty exciting. So what are we seriously gonna do a fucking Brian Bosworth movie?
Well, first of all, let's go back to last week. You were like, I think we need to do some of these like cult movies and blah blah. That's what you fucking said. That's what I did. Am I wrong, Doug?
No, you're right. And
so I was like, okay, we're doing that. I was like, well, let's fucking do one. And now fucking Scorsese over here is bitching because it doesn't have
fucking DiCaprio in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't have Daniel Day-Lewis painting a picture with his fucking big toe or some bullshit.
What? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, the Phantom Thread, right? The Phantom Thread. The only way you would watch that movie.
Making fun of my left foot. But,
if Brian Bosworth was in the fucking Phantom Thread, you would own that DVD.
Listen, hey, first of all, if Brian Bosworth played the Daniel Day-Lewis character in the Phantom Thread, everyone would own that DVD. Just because they couldn't believe it was real. They were like, you fucking serious? I mean, don't put that shit on me. That does sound amazing. If you were in the movie theater and you saw, and it's shot for shot the same trailer of the Phantom Thread, right? You're like, new movie from Paul Thomas Anderson, and the camera pans over there, and it's the fucking boss making a dress. You watch it. Don't fucking lie to me, dude.
How do you turn away from it?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be like a magnificent car crash. You'd have to look.
Yeah.
Maybe, but hey, that's a different world. That's a different realm completely. Oh. Is Boz even still alive?
Oh yeah, he's still alive.
I don't know.
I think so.
All right, so this is what we're doing. Do we even know where this is streaming?
We'll find out.
Okay, so we're gonna do the Boz.
This is the problem. I no longer can bring the copies over.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out.
Now what's the other one we're doing?
Dirty Harry.
Wow. That's something I can get with.
See?
Dirty Harry. I watched The Mule.
Huh?
What?
Sorry.
What do you got, fucking Tourette's?
No, I watched. When he said Dirty Harry, my brain went to Clint Eastwood. I watched The Mule too. I don't know. I'm behind the times.
I liked it, but fuck, man, it's just hard to see him in that such a fucking like fragile condition.
Yeah.
It just kind of.
Yeah.
But what the fuck was the one? The
Cry Macho.
Holy fuck, man!
We won't even talk about that.
Nobody's seen that movie.
Oh, I saw it to the detriment of my fucking eyes.
The Discovery Channel bought Time Warner.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The Discovery Channel bought Time Warner, and the first thing the guy said was, apparently he brought everybody in, he fired who he was going to fire. Then apparently he brought out Cry Macho, and he was like, this will never happen again. He's like, we don't owe Clint Eastwood anything. He's like, we're not spending $90 million on a guy we like. He's saying, if people don't want to see it, we're not going to make it.
Oh, it's fucking bad, dude.
So I guess, and that probably makes sense. There's probably such a relationship there with so many movies that Clint Eastwood's made with Warner that Warner will make it.
Studio he's ever worked with.
Yeah, so they'll just let him make whatever he wants. It doesn't matter because they've made so much money.
He had a blank check since, let me see, when did Dirty Harry come out? 72?
Yeah.
So almost 50 years he had pretty much a blank check.
God, wouldn't that be
nice?
nice?
The guy who runs the head of the Discovery Channel was like, no, we're not making Cry Macho 2.
Oh, fuck it.
So I wonder what that's going to mean. I wonder if they're going to, do you think they'll have a relationship or you think they'll take him out back and put a slug in his head?
I don't think he might get another movie, but it won't be a big budget movie. I can't imagine.
He just had a birthday, I think 92?
Yeah. Yeah,
But he's so great.
That's kind of the end.
I don't want that to be his last, though. That can't be his fucking last.
Why don't they do, what would be cool is kind of like Robert Redford. came out with the man of the man of the gun.
Old Man and the Gun.
Old Man and the Gun. It was a different director. It wasn't his thing. Maybe that would be it. Maybe Clint Eastwood will go out on somebody like
It's a
James
fucking cool
Mangold,
movie, man.
like James Mangold or somebody big, Scorsese or P.T. Anderson's latest movie. I'm just saying. That would be cool. So Clint Eastwood ends up with like an Oscar or something.
He doesn't do that.
I don't think there's anything more he needs. I mean, I'm sure he wants to do things, or maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But, I mean, I don't know. Like,
he cannot be allowed to make another.
But
he
probably doesn't even do it. He's probably got the same crew he's had. They probably do the whole movie. He probably just shows up and he plays the piano for the soundtrack and he learns his lines and he's done. And then everybody else handles everything else for him.
I don't know.
What a fucking life. God, can I have that for my last 30 years? That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Starts with the TikTok killer. Yeah, the TikTok killer.
Okay.
It starts with death amphetamine.
oh, Jesus.
Cutter. What? No, that's what it was, wasn't it, Cutter?
That was what it was.
God almighty. It's all past us by now. We're married and got kids and jobs and can't do any of that shit anymore. All right, end of the podcast. Thank you for listening. You can subscribe to our podcast anywhere that you get your podcasts. You can also get more info on us at our Patreon page, our Facebook page, our Instagram, Twitter, and soon to be Reddit page. And if that's not enough, just go straight to our website and get everything. It's videostoretales.com. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next week.